Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Sue. And now, get it pumped up. Get fired up, because here he is. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, everybody, look at us. We're in a new studio. Apocalypse Soon. We're in Fannie Co. West Studios right by the Burbank Airport. We have left on good terms, all things comedy. We have decided to go to a studio where we are probably going to make more money.
God willing.
Yeah, and the reason why we need money is because society is collapsing. And when your society collapses, and it looks like, between fascism and ecocide, it's going to be neck and neck, the collapse of the currency, etc. And by the way, I say this not as a dooms prepper, but just someone who kind of reads and does economic history, and just sees with his own fucking eyes the deterioration. So me and Kevin are trying to get enough money so we can live in a floating city and not like you people who are just going to be killing each other with makeshift weapons. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. So we need you to become Patreon members and quick, folks. And every time I see one of you deleting your $5 subscription, I take your name down.
Yeah.
We have addresses. I find out where you live, and I send a guy with a hammer to your. By the way, that was in the news today.
Yeah, the hammer murders or the hammer assaults.
There was a person who have they released his name yet? Anyway, he went into Nancy Pelosi's residence on Pacific Heights. The exact address is 15362. No, I don't know the exact address.
They didn't release the name yet?
I don't know. I haven't followed this story for a while.
I love it if it would be like just a comic trying to get a little
comic?
Yeah, a comic that breaks into somebody's house, attacks somebody's husband with a hammer just to get on the news. Just to try to get a little bit more press.
It would be funny if it was a big comic like Sebastian. For some reason. You know what I mean? Maniscalco.
I'm going to get the
fuck. What the fuck with the fuck? It's funny you mentioned that because, or I mentioned it, Sebastian, because I'm watching The Irishman.
Oh, yeah.
And Sebastian actually has a part in it.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
He didn't do much, but
he's on it.
Hey, I also want to introduce our new producer here, Rob Hebert. Rob is going to be with us, monitoring the festivities, and chime in whenever you want, Rob. Maybe
happy to be here.
Yeah, great to see you. Great to be here. And we could always use another little chime in voice because me and Kevin sometimes are in a bubble of insanity.
Yeah.
And we need to be straightened out. But anyway, so there was attack inside Nancy Pelosi's home. I'm just recapping so far what we've done. Sebastian was in The Irishman. Maniscalco, he didn't do much, but Maniscalco, is that how you say his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he doesn't talk to me when I'm at the Comedy Store. I'm always like, hey, Sebastian Maniscalco. And he just looks at me and goes, what? Why?
He's always eating spaghetti, too, when he's mad at you.
He what?
He's always eating spaghetti, too.
You didn't have to go to that kind of stereotypical shit. Oh, my God. So, and hilarious, I was thinking how I so easily lose my shit because Google Maps was sending me in this circle to get here, and it kept just sending me and I was like going crazy, going, I hate you, Google Maps. And then we're by a railroad. I don't know what you call it anymore because trains are foreign to me at this point. How many people travel by train?
Not enough.
It used to be great. Presidents used to make whistle-stop tours where they would be in the back of a train.
Yeah.
And it would stop in a city like St. Louis, and they would harangue the crowd from the caboose.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Yeah, let me tell you something. My opponent is scum. I wouldn't lick his anus."
And then
They didn't talk like that. They were better. They were back then. The decline of illiteracy was not in full swing.
yeah, people could read, or if they couldn't read, they wouldn't try to talk as much.
Oh, they kept to themselves.
They kept it to themselves. If they couldn't read and they weren't very, good with vocabulary, they'd usually keep it shut. Nowadays,
And that, well, social media, which it's a hollow thrill, I find, by the way, social media. I'm very funny on social media. I get a lot of likes, but I find it to be a hollow thrill. And what I mean by that, oh, by the way, speaking of thrill, I thought of Killer. Jerry Lee Lewis died today. The Killer.
really,
Yeah, that was his nickname. Jerry Lee Lewis, 87 years old. He married a 13-year-old.
well,
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Back in, I think it was the 70s, and that fucked his career
yeah.
big time.
Did he stick with her?
What?
Did he stick with the same girl the whole time?
No, I think he had. No, of course
What a
not.
fucking idiot!
I think he had like 6 wives.
Jesus.
6 wives, which is amazing to me that people can have that many like different marriages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too much work. It's
an incredible amount of work and court proceedings.
yes.
And just the paperwork alone on 6 marriages, I can imagine, is a nightmare.
He was great balls of fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his cousin too, wasn't it?
What?
One of them was his
Oh,
cousin.
that's right. That's right. Rob is already a valuable asset to
Yeah.
the show, and he knows more than like you don't. You're like great balls of fire, right? And Rob is like that was his cousin. That's right. That 13-year-old
13-year-old
was
was
his
like
cousin,
But that was his third marriage.
and that was already his 3rd marriage. Unfucking real.
Did he play a piano?
Yeah.
I remember he played a piano, Eddie.
Yeah, he did. He did play a
He
piano.
was old, Eddie.
Yeah, 87. 87. But, man, could he play? Did you like his stuff, Rob?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things, again, where the artist is kind of a scumbag. That 13-year-old marriage, by the way, he had so many crazy encounters with law enforcement.
Yeah.
Like just, he got arrested many times. He had drug and alcohol abuse. And yet he lived to 87. And my doctor is saying, you got to watch your ass. I haven't done anything.
You got to pick up. You better pick it up.
The biggest thing that I do as far as craziness is get stuck in a loop with Google Maps.
Yeah, you live a wild lifestyle, Eddie. No, you really should step up the debauchery a little bit.
Well, I'm snorting poppers,
Okay, good.
whatever those are.
That's good. That
That
great.
just sounds good to me. Hey, Doc, you know what fucking cracks me up too is when you go to a doctor, maybe for the first time, this particular doctor, and they ask you on a questionnaire, a couple of questions kill me, but one is, do you do drugs? And I like to fuck with them and say, I only do poppers at parties. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, look, you're going to have to research it. I'm giving it, I get it. Most of the parties I go to are in ultraviolet light. And I really can't see the packaging, but I know they're poppers, and I know my anus opens up. And then they're like, okay, we're just going to proceed. Like they don't want.
Yeah, they don't want.
They don't want to get. They're realizing, whoa, this guy.
He's sharing a little too much here. Let's.
Yeah.
That's how you know the poppers are working.
What's that?
If your anus opens up. Otherwise,
That's correct.
You got a dud. You get a dead popper. You got a tight anus. Nobody wants that.
No,
It's
not at the parties I go to.
No, sir.
Which are mainly, they're meet and greets. They're meet and greets, and hopefully you get greeted 3-4 times.
Oh yeah,
If you know what I mean.
a real
But
good handshake.
the other question that's hilarious to me on these medical questionnaires is, do you ever feel blue or down? And I'm like, if you're alive, especially these days, you're going to feel fucking blue or down, and it's like the fact that they're asking that question tells me that they're not that bright.
Yeah, well, and the variation on the frequency of how often you feel that way is always beyond. Like, it'll be like every moment of my waking life, I want to kill myself. And then it'll be the next step 2 will be like, once a month, I feel a little bummed out. And it'll be like, well, I'm kind of somewhere in between that, but they don't have it. There's no bubble in between.
Yeah, it's just funny. And I actually confronted not confront is a bad word. I just talked to my doctor. I said, what kind of fucking, that sounds like confrontation.
Was it at his home?
I had
their home?
gotten into his home with a hammer.
Yeah.
But I said to him, like, what kind of question is that? Like, to ask, do I feel blue? Do people feel blue? And he's a young, cool guy, my doctor. Not to brag that I have, doctors who were on the cutting edge of being young. I mean, he lives life voraciously.
Wow.
Oh my God,
What kind of? That's good coverage.
What?
That you're able to get that type of coverage.
Yeah, yeah. I asked for a young doctor. They say, "Would you like a young or old one?" I don't like the old ones because I feel like the older doctors have seen too much.
Yes.
And they get and they don't mind about scaring you. They don't mind. An old doctor doesn't mind saying, look, if you don't change your dietary habits, you could be dead by the end of the year. An old doctor would say that.
Yeah.
Where the young doctor goes, my doctor always goes to me no matter what my glucose levels are or my blood work. He goes to me, you're doing great, man. And I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, to be told I'm doing great, even though I have elevated
You can
glucose.
see the monitors flatline. He's like, you're crushing it, pal. You're doing great. You can hear the gurgle of your veins. He's like, you hear that?
And I go, what's the gurgling about? And he's like, don't worry about that. Just keep on. And he said this to me a few times. Just keep doing what you're doing. You mean eating milk duds and spaghetti? Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
You're intubated. You've got the oxygen. You've got the tube down your throat. He's like, you're killing it. Don't try to talk right now. But let me tell you, whatever you've been doing, it's working.
It's working, my friend.
You're in an iron lung.
And meanwhile, I'm in an iron lung, and there's like 30 iron lungs on the floor, and I find out he's the doctor to all of them.
Yeah.
And he's just got stock in milk duds.
Yeah. The feel good doctor. He's just there for emotional support.
I battle with that sometimes, because when I try to go on diets or really try to calm my sugar intake down, there's always a point with that where I feel deprived and I feel like, wow, life should be a pleasurable thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have a bad attitude about that because I'm realizing that if you just constantly seek pleasure, that will lead to pain.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're figuring that out, so early in your life.
Hey, I am a quick learner.
I feel like those type of lessons are the lessons I feel like I am aware of it. Like I know that information, but I have a hard time putting that into practice. You know what I mean? Like, I know that this delayed, I don't want to get up and walk. I never want to do, but if I do it for a couple of weeks, then I feel good about myself. You know what I mean? But I can't get past that moment in the beginning where I'm just like, I don't want to get up.
Yeah,
I'm watching
that's
a movie.
the tough. Oh God.
I'm watching this documentary right now.
Oh God. Watching a documentary with a pint of caramel swirl is, why would you want to get up and walk?
Yeah. What's the point? You're already doing all the living you can.
You're watching a documentary about people getting murdered by drifters. Things are good.
The best kind of dogs. Oh, yeah.
Things are good. So how have you been there?
I've been pretty good. I've been...
We're not in a park. We're here in a studio. I mean, even though, we got one or two comments about, I love when you guys are in the park. Did you see?
I did.
I think that was from Max, and he was like, you should time the sunsets with the podcast.
We usually do, but I need to get an aperture puller to change the light variation on the camera as the sun goes down.
Oh yeah.
I think in the park we get a little bit more candid, in the park.
I wonder why that
is. A little
is.
more loose. Well, I think the monitors help. But like when you do the guided meditation, the headphones,
okay.
When you do the guided meditations or the other things, I think those are better when you can really get in and hear your voice and stuff.
That's true. Even though, that was a crazy one.
I just like having a few unhoused folks around when we record. I think it adds to the ambiance of what the show's trying to accomplish.
It really does. We are the show of the dispossessed. We're this podcast. Even though I need you, and I need you people to Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, do it, everybody, please. And spread the word. Patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. Oh man, so what else is going on with you?
I got a show tonight in the Belly Room at the.
I haven't been going to the Comedy Store, and I actually had a fan, and not to brag, I have fans, folks, but a fan asked me, "You going to be at the store this weekend?" And I had to inform them no, and I felt a little bad about that, but I need to rest.
Yeah, you've been going full speed for a while.
I need to rest, and it's weird being in LA without many shows, but I have one Saturday at the Philosophical Research Society on Saturday in Los Feliz. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't really know. My friend has a book out about hell, the Encyclopedia of Hell.
Yeah.
Martin Olson, and he asked me to do this. It's a night of bizarre entertainment, like magicians. A magician, like a conjurer.
Wow.
All this kind of offbeat stuff. I don't know how I fit in.
That's tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Are you going to be doing your circus act? Are you going to be doing stand-up?
I want to do stand-up because, and I'll do it about hell.
Yeah.
I'll say, I don't know why we need to create hell. Hell is here and now, folks. I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to be like, hell is when Google Maps routes you in a circle. Hell is, trying to be a good person every day.
Yeah, yes.
Hell is turning on the news.
Yeah. I love that bit that you had about you're like, why should I try to be a good person when nobody else seems to be giving a
Why
fuck?
should I have a moral center when the fucking leaders, quotes, just actively work on our demise?
It's true. It's not. It's a bummer. I've always been
bummer. Yes, it is a bummer.
Well, I mean, especially like I grew up religious, so there was a lot of like reasons to constantly be trying to be good, to do the right thing.
Well, because they dangled punishment.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And that's bullshit, That's bullshit. You don't punish people,
No.
as a way to motivate them.
Yeah.
Look at the military.
No.
That's what they like. Get the fuck, give me 150 push-ups, you motherfucker. and how many people collapse.
Yeah. I could use that kind of discipline in my life, though. Like a military.
I wanted to ask you, because I have a big belly
Yeah.
and you don't. How do you keep your stomach flat?
Oh, this is the worst it's been, Eddie. This is.
Are you serious? Well,
Yeah. I mean,
you have a ways.
I mean, I got years to catch up to you. I've got a picture of you on my hope chest, and that's what I'm working towards. You might have.
Is a hope chest like a vision board?
Yeah. I don't know. I always say hope chest. I think it's a reference to Back to the Future. That's how I like to keep my references nice and relevant.
I only watch mob movies.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Irishman, Goodfella. It's the same movie, I realize, too. Same movie. This Scorsese movie is so like Goodfellas in a way.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. I've watched that
Which
movie.
one?
The new one.
Irishman?
Yeah, The Irishman. I've watched
really
that
good.
multiple times. Yeah.
Oh, really? Multiple times?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's got a lot of fucking time on his hand.
Oh,
That's a 3-hour movie.
I like to watch them back to back to back too. I'll set them down. My kids will be there, and they'll
Baby,
be tugging on my shirt. I'm going, get away. I'm watching The Irishman.
Honey, we got to go to the hospital. Not until 6 hours goes by. I'm watching this fucking thing twice, baby.
They never say what they did with the body. I want to see it. I want to watch it. Look how lonely he is. He's so lonely. That at the end, when he's in the nursing home, that always hits me.
Yeah.
That always hits me. I'm crying. My kids are crying because they haven't eaten. And it's a beautiful.
He's always watching The Irishman. I could see social workers coming over to your place going, "Is it true, sir, that you have watched The Irishman now 35 times while your children are suffering from rickets and scurvy?" Like, for some reason, they suffer from pirate disease.
Yeah, they have lice. They have ringworm.
Ringworm.
Oh, that's a fun
beauty. Ringworm. That's one of those diseases that really needed a better publicist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a disease, listen to me out there. If you're a disease, get a publicist. You see what COVID-19 did? COVID-19 got the finest PR firm in the land. I believe it was Smith and Johnson. I forget what the PR firm COVID had, but they had a great one. They had a big advertising campaign. Dr. Fauci came aboard, and it flourished.
The face of COVID, Dr. Fauci. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone now, right? Did
I think
Fauci
so,
retire?
Yeah.
He's out.
There we go. Yeah, Rob.
Did he?
knows.
Rob is going to check it.
Yeah, he's out. But
He's out.
I'll do that. I'll check it. I'll
Yeah,
see.
well,
what he's
we
up to.
do. Now that we're in a new studio and we have Rob, we're going to do due diligence.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
I like to just spout ideas and represent them as facts.
Well,
And then,
ideas don't have to be facts, but if you're saying something is a fact, then it should be a fact. Like Fauci retiring. Did he retire?
No, he's at NIAID instead of the CDC. So he's at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Oh, you see now, that's a lateral move, and they say you shouldn't do that in your career.
No.
You should go up.
Vertical.
It also says here on August 22nd, 2022, Fauci announced that he will be stepping down from government service in December. So we'll see if that happens.
So in this allergy institute, he's going to step down from.
Yeah.
In December, if he keeps his word.
Yeah.
You know,
He might still crave the spotlight, and not want to leave.
a lot of people have to leave the allergy institute because they're allergic to all the fucking shit.
Yeah.
That they bring in. They're like, they're in the, they bring in, where do you want the pollen? Like the truckers. Where do you want the pollen, Fred?
It's like,
Dr. Fauci, I mean.
Bring it in here.
Yeah, right.
What is it? Is it ragweed?
Just
It's ragweed and also just grass, different grasses.
It's just a guy itching, a scientist. Just
I don't know. I'm tired. I'm going to nap.
I never had allergies till I came to L.A.
California's
Is
brutal
California
with that.
brutal with that shit?
Well, because there's so many different types of
Fauna?
fauna and flora. Yeah, there's too
I hate
much.
when you You brandish your vocabulary.
Hey, I keep it right here.
Fauna, flora.
Florist, the pollen. Yeah, I mean, I had friends that got what do you call
Asthma?
it? Asthma. I had bunch of friends in grade school because I grew up in the Central Valley of California.
Oh, Central Valley must be fucked.
Ooh, it's the worst. It's a big. It gathers everything, all the the pollution, all the pollen, everything just funnels. So I had a bunch of friends that
Is that
got
their
asthma.
pitch?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that their pitch? Come to the Central Valley. We gather all the shit, and it just stays here. And when you grow up in the Central Valley, you don't grow up a pussy. You grow up a person who's
Fucking right.
You fucking can't breathe, and that's how we roll in the Central Valley. Come to the Central Valley and just feel. Yeah, the heat is unbelievable there, too.
I mean, as far as just a location, it's not the best.
What's
You know?
interesting about California is that I think most people, at least I did, and I think a lot of people do, they think of California as some kind of beautiful paradise. And it is not. I mean, there are parts of it that are majestic.
Yes.
Because it's coastal.
Yeah, you got
as
this-
well.
Yeah.
But there's so much fucking shit here.
It's brutal. Well, because you got the Angels National Forest, you got the Sierra Nevadas, Yosemite.
Right.
the
It's so
coast.
big. Yeah.
I mean, those
Yeah.
are all gorgeous. but
PCH.
in between those, it's like brutal.
Big Sur.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the central part of it is just.
It's not great. Great people though.
Are there?
Yeah, yeah.
In the
that's-
Central Valley?
That's where that's where I came from, and I don't know. I loved all the people there.
Yeah.
They're extremely diverse. So I got
Okay.
to be the only white guy in groups,
Serious?
which is oh yeah,
yeah?
absolutely, yeah. In grade school, well, not grade school, junior high and high school though, there were many circles where I was the only white guy, which was awesome because
Yeah.
it's
good.
it's better than being overwhelmed with white guys and being one of the white guys that is part of the overwhelming. I'd rather be because I got to be a little exotic. You know what I mean? People look at me, they think that's not an
You're
exotic
ordering,
man.
your white friends are ordering, I'll take a peanut butter and jelly on white bread. And you're going, I'll have a Cubano.
Yeah.
A Cuban sandwich, please.
Yeah. I smoke a cigar, I eat a sandwich, and
You extol on the virtues of Castro. Let me tell you something. That Bay of Pigs thing, that was in The Irishman, the Bay of Pigs.
yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, I know you like the movie. I'm
It's
sorry.
so good, Eddie.
Sorry I brought it up.
I interviewed the guy that wrote the book that it's based on.
What?
Really?
Oh, Frank Sheeran?
Frank Sheeran is the guy that it's about, but the guy that wrote it was Charles Brandt.
Charles Brandt.
Yeah.
Was it a true book? Was it truth?
According to him, it is.
Oh, really?
I'm skeptical.
Why? Did he know Sheeran? How did he get the intimate details?
Yeah.
He met Frank Sheeran when Frank Sheeran was looking for somebody to be his biographer.
I see.
Essentially, to do his memoir.
Late in his life?
Yeah, pretty late in
yeah.
his life. Yeah.
But so the truth about Hoffa gets revealed in that book,
Right.
if it was true. But I don't hear that being widely circulated as the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that what he wrote in the book was accurate to what Frank Sheeran had told him.
I see.
But I think a lot of people think that Frank Sheeran sort of embellished perhaps what his role might have been.
Is he
this.
dead, Frank Sheeran?
I think Frank Sheeran has passed at this point. Let's see.
Yeah,
He's an old guy.
Let's do our due diligence on Frank Sheeran's demise.
Yeah,
If indeed there was
Frank,
one.
if you're out there, call in right now. To the show. Let us
Hello,
know.
this is Frank Sheeran. Am
Yeah,
I
he's-
did I reach Fanical?
He died. He died a while ago,
How long ago?
almost 20 years ago.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Too bad.
But the book didn't come out for a while. The book, or the book has been out a while, and
The book has been out for a while. They had been trying to make it for a while.
I see.
I feel like there's got to be a ton of relevance for the fact that in the movie even points at the fact that everybody's dead. Like, I think that's relevant to the movie coming out and the book and everything, having that space to where people could share everything and not get murdered because everybody's dead. But that I always like that scene in the movie too, where he's just like, "Who are you protecting? Everybody's dead." He's like, they're all dead. He's like, he still won't give it up in the movie,
Oh yeah,
which is great.
De Niro's character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real guy, though. He did
Yeah.
work. He did work for Jimmy Hoffa.
Right.
He did work for the Teamsters and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
he did have mob connections.
Right.
The part that people are a little iffy on is
The final.
whether he's really the guy that
Yeah.
pulled the trigger.
Yeah. That could be embellished. I usually embellish stories like that. Like it'll start with a Google Map loop, but I will embellish it saying I killed somebody then. Like in a rage because of Google. I was really getting pissed off by this loop I was in, because it was reminding me of my life.
Oh God.
Like just doing the same shit over and over again.
Your own personal samsara.
Wow.
Your own personal samsara.
Yeah, I mean, I think that don't let that get to you though. It's a beautiful loop you're making, Eddie. Let me tell you that right now. Your daily loop.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a beautiful loop. I love seeing
I always bait people into encouraging me. I always bait people into saying nice things about me because I'm always like, I don't know. I don't think I'm doing enough lately. And I'm looking out of this eye are they going to say something?
No, Eddie, you're doing enough.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing plenty.
That came unsolicited, right?
Yeah, I always like to do that with my wife. Like,
With my wife.
it'd be nice if someone was attracted to me. She'll be like,
Yeah, but if you do that to, your significant other, man, they know when you're doing manipulative shit like that.
Yeah. No, I'm bad. I open the Bible up to verses that say that a wife should have sex with her husband, and I'll highlight them and I'll put them on the bed. I'm just doing some reading.
That's too on the nose. That's too on the nose.
Instead of rose petals, it's just loose Bible pages with highlighter on them.
Yeah. Either that or I'll walk around in like sweatpants with no underwear and just have an
Is that
erection.
supposed to be oh my God.
I just go, what am I going to do with this?
Oh my God.
What's this for?
That would be funny if that worked.
Right? Uh-oh. And then you look down. What's this?
Oh my God. That would be too funny. I prefer like just, having beautiful things delivered. Like I will get my significant other a batch of monarch butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Just like live monarchs.
Yeah.
And the guy or a shitload of dream catchers. I've always had this character.
That sounds like a verse from the 12 Days of Christmas. On the 15th day of Christmas,
My true love gave to me a shitload of dream catchers. Yeah.
Sorry.
I always wanted to be a trucker. Like I've always thought of a character where I'm a trucker delivering dream catchers, and I'm really blue collar, and I'm like, what do you want? And I get to places, these little fucking, new agey places, and I'm like, where do you want the fucking dream catchers? And they're like, oh, yeah, please don't damage them. Oh, God for fucking bid. There's fucking dream catchers. All they do is rattle in my fucking truck. And by the way, I pull over on the side of the road and I have nothing but nightmares. So fuck these things. They don't work. That kind of character.
And he gets home, his wife gives him shit about something. He goes, baby, I've been hauling dreams out there. I'm hauling dreams and you give me no love for them.
Baby, I got to drive these dream catchers from California to Boston, and it ain't going to be easy. They are fucking full of mystical ambiguity. Oh, Fred, will you stop it? You sound a lot like Margaret. Well, you sound a lot like Al. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Margaret. I didn't mean... Eddie was just doing a dream catcher bit, and you caught me. Oh, Al, Don't worry about it. You're just trying to follow along with Eddie. I know I am. The thing is, they're in a new studio, and they hadn't gotten to any quote-unquote bits like, some of the old ones, so I figured let me get them on the track. Al, you never have to explain yourself to me, except when you come home with the word scumbag written on your forehead in lipstick. That's the only time you have to explain yourself to me. Do you understand? Look, Margaret, just because that happened 3 nights in a row has nothing to do with my love for you. I'll tell you something, Al. It definitely made me pause. Look, don't start talking about pausing, okay? All right, Al. I'm sorry. I won't talk about pausing, but you did give me some trepidation. Better word than pause. You gave me some trepidation about your ability, Al, to be faithful when you have the word scumbag written on your forehead in lipstick. I told you it was an initiation rite to get into the Cub Scouts. Look, I'm not an idiot, Al. You're way too old for the Cub Scouts. No, I was going to be one of the leaders. But they're pedophiles, Al. Look, Margaret, I wanted to be one of the non-pedophiles. I know how to make a knot. Oh, fuck you, Al. You're cursing at me? I'm sorry. That came out of nowhere. I think it's the new studio. What? Why did the new studio make you curse? Because it's, I'm just getting used to it here, Al. All right, look, baby. Why don't I just take you out to Lincoln Center? We'll go see La Traviata. I don't want to go to an Italian restaurant. It's an opera. Oh, you don't have to yell. Well, you cursed at me. All right, now we're even. All right, look, we'll go see La Traviata, and then we'll go eat Italian. Oh, that sounds nice. Yep. So are we friends? I guess. You guess? What is this, Jeopardy? Don't guess. Either you know it or not. No, that's Jeopardy, when you know it or not. You don't guess on Jeopardy. Margaret, I can't follow you today. Have you taken your tweaking pills? Tweaking pills? Yeah, your medication's gotten tweaked with another medication. Did you take the extra medication? I would have taken it, but you lost it, remember? Oh, right, I got drunk and lost your tweaking medication. I'm so sorry about that, Margaret, but I had no idea that drinking 3 bottles of Jägermeister and 2 really quick shots of George Clooney's tequila. Why do you always call it George Clooney's tequila? He sold that tequila company for $1 billion fucking dollars. There you go again with the off-color language. I am so sorry, Mr. Primrose. Mr. Prim and Proper. You have a pair of knickers on and a propeller hat, huh? What are we in, the English countryside? What? What does the Cotswolds have to do with anything? I'm sorry, Al, that I was trying to make a reference to manners, and I thought the English... All right, look, I get it now, but look. So let's go to Lincoln Center. We'll see La Traviata, and then we'll go to an Italian restaurant, and then, I forgot to tell you this part, and then we will both get colonics. I have a Groupon. Okay, can we take a Papa first? What? If we take Papas, the colonic, I think, will be more pleasurable. Margaret, you are the most bizarre woman. But I love you, baby. Oh, Al. So is that a yes on the Papas? You know it is. Come on, put on your finest threads and let's get out of this little hellhole we live in. Oh, Al, let's go to the opera and the Italian place and then do a Papa and go to the colonic place. Okay. And then after that, maybe a tea joint. Tea joint? Yeah, where they have those boba. You know the boba teas? Are you seeing someone else? What? Why do you say that? You never did a boba tea with me. Are you seeing someone who's into boba? Margaret, we almost had this bit finished. Why do you always extend the bits? I mean, how long can people go with this? I'll tell you how long they can go with it, Al. They can go with it as long as it's funny, okay? And I thought saying, are you seeing someone who's into boba was enough to keep it going. All right, you're right. Look, I love you very much. Oh, why do you keep saying that? You keep trying to end the bit on the same thing. Go somewhere else to try to end it. Look out, Margaret, there's a bird. That's better.
Thanks for joining us for another impromptu checking in with Al and Margaret, a couple living inside Eddie Pepitone's head.
Felt like I was in a John Hyatt song.
John Hyatt? That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Who died during COVID? Prine or Hyatt? Hello, welcome to What Folk Singers Died During COVID.
Died April 7th, 2020, John Prine.
Ah, he was so good. 2020. He died early on, and he got COVID. That was so sad. I love Prine. You a John Prine fan?
Yeah, absolutely.
John Hyatt's still alive.
John Hyatt is still alive.
On tour.
He's on tour?
Buddy Guy.
Oh,
Buddy
wow.
Guy is with Hyatt?
Buddy Guy and John Hyatt tour announced.
Oh, that's good.
An acoustic evening with Lyle Lovett and John Hyatt on November 9th.
Do you like Lyle Lovett, Rob?
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
About the same. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even think of like a Lyle Lovett song.
He did Yellow Submarine. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Beatles. Imagine a guy whose musical knowledge is so fucking
He did
bad.
Julia Roberts.
He did do Julia
did her
Roberts.
good.
I remember that.
Great version. Great version.
They got divorced? Were they married?
I think they were married.
Yeah.
They were, and they're,
Yeah.
of course, divorced. What marriage? Tom Hanks and his wife have been together for a long time.
Yes. Nobody else does. Or like the new drama on the Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith
What's
stuff.
going on? Are they separated?
No, they're fine, but they're in some sort of like polyamorous relationship, and then
Polyamorous. Now, that's a funny thing to me, polyamory.
I
It
can't
basically means I'm tired of fucking you.
yeah, it really is.
It does, I
yeah,
think.
I'm horny.
Oh, what's this? You say to other women.
I go,
And this woman who you met at a truck stop, she's smoking a cigarette. Her name is Thelma, and she's like, I don't know if that works with your wife, but it sure as fuck don't work on me. I'll snip it off with this hedge pruner.
I'm hanging a towel on it. I'm like, oh, all right. Back to hauling these dream catches. Do you want to do some sketches? Some
Yeah,
guided
let's do a
meditations
guided.
and
Let's
whatnot?
do a guided.
Now clear your minds and relax your inner monologue for guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Okay, hi everybody. Oh, wow. What a day, what a week, what a year, what a life. Let's shake it all out. Let's shake out all that's going on right now in the world. The endless wars that seem to get worse and worse. Let's shake that out. Let's shake out the fact that there's some nuclear brinkmanship going on with the United States and Russia. The doomsday clock is the closest to midnight it's ever been. Let's shake all that out, that the future does not look good, no matter how you slice it. Shake all that out. Shake all the possible nuclear devastation out. Shake it out. And hopefully you're in, some light fitting clothing. Clothing that's so light fitting you could fit, let's say, 10 to 12 baguettes in your sleeve. That's how light fitting your clothing should be. And the reason I bring up baguettes is because baguettes are really tasty, yet they're dense. And I want you to be tasty, yet light. Don't be a baguette, I tell my children. who are both little fatties. My kids are little fatties, and they run around. They look like the children of mafia people. Have you ever seen mafia people's children? They're always fat as hell. And that's usually through the movies, if you ever seen The Irish. So I want you to just breathe all of that out. Fat mafia kids, nuclear brinkmanship, the doomsday clock being very close to midnight. Shake it out. And now with your first in-breath, I want you to breathe in. I want you to breathe in the fact that the electric car is worse for the environment than regular fuel. At least that's what I've been told by people who know a little about hydrogen cell batteries. I want you to breathe in the fact that the making of a hydrogen cell battery is actually worse for the environment than all the fossil fuels are. Just breathe that in. Also, while you're breathing that in, breathe this in, the fact that the permafrost in the Arctic Circle is melting much quicker than previously anticipated, which will release incredible amounts of methane and carbon into the atmosphere, accentuating our demise. Breathe. The Arctic Circle, permafrost melting. Breathe that in, and now with your out breath, I want you to let all that go. Let all the tension go. Let it go, whether it's Ecocide or whether it's just if one of your children has recently purchased a handgun and brandishes it at breakfast, and you're trying to serve some artisanal French toast that took you a long time to make, and your child has a gun, and your child's a toddler, and you're like, how the hell did my toddler get a gun? Breathe that out. Breathe that out, that toddlers now have guns. Breathe that out, that toddlers are now being armed. And also breathe out the fact that the batshit crazy Republicans will probably take control of the United States Congress soon. Don't let that put a crimp in your step. Just breathe that out, that we are going into abject fascism very, very quickly, and 2024 may turn out to be the death knell for whatever's left of this pathetic democracy that we call America. Breathe that out. Breathe out the fact that fascism is actually global now. Hungary, Poland, Austria, certainly parts of Staten Island. I grew up in Staten Island. I can tell you that is just as fascist as hell. And now with your next in-breath, I want you to breathe in a little turpentine, because you've been refinishing a cabinet to keep your mind off the fact that your toddler just got an AK-47, and you're trying to serve your toddler artisanal pancakes, and your toddler has been brandishing an AK-47 that he got because a lot of his playmates are Russians. A lot of his playmates have parents who work for Raytheon and Boeing, and they have access to weapons. Just breathe that in. And now, with your final out-breath, I want you to breathe out the fact that Monsanto, who changed their name to, I forget what they changed their name to, some other name, because there were too many lawsuits against Monsanto. It's sort of how Time Warner changed their name to Spectrum, because there was just too much negativity around Time Warner, and now they're Spectrum, and now Monsanto is some other name that we'll find out what they're called after this segment. But I want you to breathe out the fact that Monsanto, or whatever they're called, has more corporate lawyers than you have blood cells. Do you understand? All these corporate lawyers will never let anything good happen to you. Do you understand that? Your air, your food will be poisoned. That's right, because corporate lawyers, scumbag corporate lawyers, will always be working against you, the average person. Breathe that out. Breathe that out. Oh, put on a pair of foot pajamas. Make yourself a nice cup of hot cocoa and turn on Wolf Blitzer. And let Wolfie tell you about the latest catastrophe or catastrophe soon to be.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
What is Monsanto called now?
It's just called Bayer because they were bought by Bayer
that's
in 2018
right.
for $66 billion.
For how many?
$66 billion?
God, good God.
I'm surprised it's not more, honestly.
Oh, really?
For Monsanto, yeah.
66 billion. I wonder if that's cash. Like they meet under a bridge, like the Bear guys. Like, here it is. Wow, that's fucking a lot of.
Actually, I was going to make a joke about it, but it says intent to acquire Monsanto for $66 billion US in an all-cash deal.
No.
So it was not.
No.
It was not a
all cash.
All cash deal.
Must have been a wire transfer or something. That's nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, you would assume that it would be.
No, it would be
you know, stock options and
Yeah.
and leverage debt and stuff like that. But it
all
wasn't
cash.
all cash.
Wow.
Jesus.
Could you imagine it's like just two guys. All right, all the suitcases are in the rig. and it goes, how many fucking suitcases? Thousands.
It's going to take us 11 years to count this.
It's going to take us so long to.
You toss me to Monsanto properties and I'll throw you to cash. At the same time. Now go. And then a huge truck.
Unbelievable. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our first episode here at the studio. One thing I want to say, folks, and is that we have a big show coming up at the New York Comedy Festival.
Yes.
November 12th. Go to my website, eddiepepitone.com. November 12th. It's part of the New York Comedy Festival. Apocalypse Soon.
I know it's around 3 o'clock. In the afternoon.
That's right, because I have a show that night in Poughkeepsie. Did you get the address?
At the Caveat.
Oh, the Caveat.
21A Clinton Street in Manhattan.
And if you can't make it to that, they are selling live stream tickets for $10 on the website.
Oh, that's
as
right.
well.
It's a hybrid show, right?
Yes.
I used to live right by this place.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Parkside Lounge is right around the corner from there.
That's Lower East Side. You call it Nolita? What does
well,
that mean?
Well, I didn't.
No. What is
north of Little Italy, I think.
Oh, okay. I never
Wow.
heard that term. I just call that Lower East Side.
Yeah, that's just
over
Lower
there.
East Side.
Yeah.
So come on down.
Come on down.
November 12th to see our guest is Joe List, and I'll be touring after that. I'll be leaving Kevin that day, and
I'll be waving from the parking lot.
I'll
sadly.
be leaving Kevin that day, unless you want to come to Poughkeepsie.
And I'll be in. I'll go to Poughkeepsie. I don't care. I'm down. I got my ticket out of there. It's on Sunday. So, but yeah, I'll be in New York if you want to hang out. I'll be there for a little longer than Eddie.
But I am circling back to New York. I'll be in the City Winery November 21st, and I'm going to Massachusetts, all over. So
Beautiful.
Anyway, all right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Apocalypse Soon, and we will see you next time.